Hey guys, it's Charmise Idris here, and today I'm going to teach you how I personally make beeswax candles. You can use different types of beeswax, but I have these yellow pellets here, and you'll need a ½ pound of beeswax, the fragrance oil of your choice, 1/4 cup of coconut oil, a wick that goes with your specific container. I have a 12-ounce container, a glue gun just to glue the wick in, a scale, something to melt the wax in, a thermometer, and a skewer or a pencil or like a clothespin just to keep the wick in place. So first we're going to start with putting the wick in the candle jar. I kind of took apart a pin just to make it easier for me to put the wick down in there. And then I just hot glued the bottom. You can also use double-sided tape I've seen people use, but I always use hot glue gun and it's never been a problem for me. And like I said, just make sure that you have the wick that is the size for your jar. I'll put a wick guide below. And you just stick it in place right down in the middle, and then you can use your clothespin if your jar isn't too wide, which mine is, so I had to use a skewer instead, and I just rolled it down. And you want to use that just to keep that wick standing straight up in the middle, because you don't want to lean it to the side. So now I'm going to measure out my beeswax, and it will be 8 ounces or a little bit over 8, and I did that specifically for my 12-ounce jar. Alright, and then you're going to put this over heat or in a double boiler. I did put this straight on the hot plate, but I ended up putting it in a double boiler, well, a pot of water later, just because I didn't like the sound it was making. Then you'll add your 1/4 cup of coconut oil and let it melt. So as you can see, I just keep coming back to stir it just to make it go a little bit faster, because this beeswax melts so slow. And y'all, I don't know why I got this small spatula, but I think every other one was dirty because I was doing other stuff that day too. Once your wax is fully melted, then you can take it off the heat. Mine, this specific beeswax takes till about 190 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'll let my wax cool off to about 165, 170 before I pour in my fragrance or essential oil. You don't want to pour it in too high because the scent can dissipate, just burn off basically. Also, as a rule of thumb, you'll use about 1 ounce of essential oil or fragrance to 1 pound of wax. So, but today I just used 0.75 ounces. Now just make sure you stir it very, very well, and then you can pour it into your candle jar at about 160 degrees Fahrenheit. I typically let my candles cure for about 1 to 2 weeks just because I don't need them immediately, but you can do it for 3 days. Just make sure you cut the wick between 1/4 of an inch to 1/8 of an inch before use.